remote section of Westchester County, the body of a man sprawls grotesquely in a clump of underbrush, just beyond a barbed wire fence. The ground is wet, for it rained hard last night, but still visible on the barbed wire is a drop of blood. And now, it's 9 o'clock at night. Professor Richard Wanley has just finished dinner with his friend, Dr. Barkstain. Quite unnoticed, beneath the sleeve of Wanley's coat is a fresh, clean, white bandage. A cut from barbed wire can leave a nasty wound.
Well, Richard, heard yet from Grace and the kids?
Yes, I had a wire this morning. Arrived safe. Uneventful trip, all fine.
No doubt you proceeded to spoil them with an immediate answer.
Well, I wrote Grace this afternoon. I told her I'm lonelier than I ever have been.
You look positively wistful.
Well, doggone it, I do miss her. I wonder what's keeping Frank. He didn't say?
Only that he was phoning from the police commissioner's office. He sounded excited. Well, here he is now. Frank.
Oh, hello, Michael. Richard.
Hello.
Sorry I missed dinner.
Well, count for yourself.
Claude Mazard has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
Mazard left Washington yesterday afternoon. He arrived at Penn Station last night and vanished completely.
Mazard, the financier?
Yes, the police are waiting for him until midnight. If he doesn't show up, we're giving it to the newspapers. Then watch the fireworks.
The stock market?
And how?
What did he look like? I mean, what sort of fellow was he?
A perfect nuisance. I knew him. He used to be a patient of mine.
Oh? I didn't know that.
Nerves, blood pressure, the most ungovernable temper I've ever seen.
Well, just because a man doesn't show up for a day, why assume he's been murdered?
I didn't say he was murdered.
Well, what I...
Mr. Lawler.
Yes, Charles.
Telephone for you, sir.
Oh, thanks. Be right back. Excuse me.
I don't know why I said Mazard was murdered, but Frank's whole manner, it seemed to indicate violence of some kind.
Frank suspects it, too. His head's up like a bird dog's.
Oh.
He's on the scent of something.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen.
Charles?
Mr. Lawler's phone call. He had to go right to his office. He said you would understand.
Well. Michael, I've rather a bad headache. If you don't mind, I think I'll run on home.
Well, I'm rather tuckered myself. You want something for that head?
No. It's just the heat.
Some nerve of Frank leaving us high and dry about Mazard.
Well, maybe he'll know more about it tomorrow.
I'll give him a call in the morning.
Yes, he'll probably be busy.
Nonsense. I'll see that we meet Frank tomorrow and get the whole sordid story. Can I call you at home?
Home? Oh, yes. I'll be home all day. Hello?
Richard, this is Michael. Do you happen to have your radio on?
No. Why?
Well, turn it on. There's a news broadcast. They found Claude Mazard's body up in Westchester.
Oh?
Some kids taking a hike in the woods. And you were right. He was murdered.
Well, I guess we won't be seeing Frank then. He'll be all tied up.
We certainly will see him. We're meeting him at 6 at the club again. By the way, how's that head of yours?
Oh, better, thanks.
Good. Well, I'll see you in a little while.
Yes, thanks for calling, Michael. Well, Frank, we're waiting to hear all about it.
Well, by now you've read the papers, but here's something. Mazard was not killed where the body was found.
Well, how do you know that?
We've got tire marks of a parked car. It rained, you know, and the ground was soft. We also have a man's footprints. Deep prints when he was going into the woods carrying the body. Lighter coming back. Yes, the shoe print should be very helpful.
Shoe prints?
These were well-worn shoes. They've told us quite a bit.
Don't be so indefinite.
Well, the man weighs about 160 pounds, wears a size 8 shoe, and is probably in moderate circumstances.
Well, that's rather a guess now, isn't it?
No, the shoes have been half sold. We like evidence like that. It doesn't help us name the murderer, of course, but once we line up a suspect, these things are positive checks against him. The car, the shoes, the kind of suit he wore.
You know that, too?
Oh, yes. And his blood. Inspector Jackson found blood on a wire fence. It didn't match with Mazard's.
Yes, but a clue like that on a barbed wire fence, could that be enough to be of any use?
Did I say barbed wire fence?
Well, didn't you?
No. But it was barbed wire, of course.
Oh.
I was only trying to impress you fellas with my keenness.
Well, in that case, Frank, I'll give you a chance to impress the whole city. Look at this.
At what?
Here, under my sleeve. See? Bandaged. Doesn't this suggest something to you, Frank?
Yes. You see my name on the front pages, and you make a desperate effort to elbow your way into the case by insinuating that you're the guilty man. But it's no use, my boy. You've wounded yourself for nothing.
Did you ever see such selfishness?
That bandage, Richard. What happened?
A couple of days ago, I cut it on a tin can. It's nothing.
Would you like to hear what the police think?
You bet we would.
Well, this afternoon we got a line on a woman. Now, who she is... Oh, wait a minute. Looking for me, Williams?
Yes, Mr. Lawler.
One of the boys on the staff. Be right back.
Frank's a very smart man, Michael.
Yes, he is. Richard, what's the matter?
Oh, I haven't been feeling any too well.
Missing the family, eh?
Yes, very much.
And a headache yesterday. I think you could do with a few capsules.
Capsule?
I'll write a prescription. 2 a day should pep you up considerably. Oh, you don't walk in your sleep, do you?
Not that I know of. Why?
Well, I hate to think of you wandering into the bathroom and popping these capsules into your mouth like peanuts.
Poison?
Technically, no. It's a gland concentrate. But too much of it would hit the old heart like a sledgehammer.
Instantly?
Oh, 20 or 30 minutes and...
What's going on here?
Oh, just a prescription for Richard. It not only kills you if you take enough, but it leaves no trace. Just a case of heart disease. That's all you could say.
Oh, fine.
Frank, a minute ago, you mentioned the woman.
Oh, yes. Well, the police had a theory this afternoon. Mazard was a bachelor, but he had a girlfriend. They're certain of that. But they don't know who she is. Well, Mazard probably called on her. A man was already there, a man the girl liked better than Mazard.
Well, how would the police know that?
Well, because she's made no effort to bring the killer to justice or identify herself.
That's just a theory, of course.
I said that. Well, Mazard is killed. They get rid of his body. But now these two people, this man and this woman, sit hating and fearing each other, each wondering how long it'll be before the other blabs out the whole story.
Always a woman, eh?
Oh, that was the theory this afternoon.
Oh, they've changed their minds?
Williams just told me something that pulls the rug right out from under that theory.
Really?
It seems that Mazard's partners were always afraid that he'd get into trouble. They knew his temper. So they hired a bodyguard, a fellow by the name of Arthur Height, to follow him secretly at all times. The bodyguard has also disappeared.
Then he could be the murderer, couldn't he?
Well, he might have tried to blackmail Mazard, killed him in a fight. Or he might have witnessed the murder and is getting ready to blackmail the killers. But even if he's 100% innocent, Height still won't walk in and talk.
Well, why do you say that? Why wouldn't he?
Oh, because he's a known crook with a blackmailing record. He's wanted now for at least 2 other raps. We'll get that gentleman only when we run him down, not before.
Nice fellow to pick for a bodyguard.
Don't ask me why Wall Street geniuses do anything. He was tough and strong, and I suppose that's all they thought about. Anyway, I'm going up to Westchester tomorrow morning to look over this place where they found the body. Want to come along?
I wish I could, but I've got a date with some gallstones.
Richard?
Go along by all means.
Well, I'm
Oh,
afraid
he'll
that,
go, Frank. I'm his physician, and I order him to go. Give you something to think about, Richard.
Well, all right.
Good. Inspector Jackson will be with me. We'll try to show you how the law operates to nail a man. How much further, Inspector?
Just a half mile or so.
Well, I must say this is quite an adventure for me.
Richard, that hand of yours seems to be bothering you. Let me see.
Oh, throbs a little, nothing serious.
What's the matter with your hand, Professor Wenley?
Well, I was opening a can the other night, and the can opener slipped.
Oh. But all around the bandage, that rash there.
Oh.
Why, that's poison ivy, isn't it?
Oh, as a matter of fact, it is. The day after I cut it, I played golf. Looked for a lost ball and caught into some poison ivy.
Nasty stuff. Oh, Mr. Lawler.
Yes?
We picked up that woman this morning.
Good. What's she got to say?
We'll know in a few minutes. They've got her at the scene now.
Woman? That theory you were telling me about, Frank.
Yes. Before we talk to her, Inspector, I'd like to do some looking around.
Okay. Well, here we are. That's the place down there where you see those...